Hello, welcome back to the We Are City channel. Guys, I'm having to do a live stream, aren't I? Because Manchester City look like they're about to sell João Cancelo. A real shocking one, really. I didn't expect it. I'm looking to do live streams like this over the transfer windows and so on. Got Ridai here, Teddy here, many people. I could have just done this as a normal video, but I decided to do it in sort of a live format so we can talk about it. City losing João Cancelo. It is about to be confirmed probably later on today. Cancelo is going to Bayern Munich, and I thought you guys would want to talk about that because it's a big shock, really, isn't it? We know that he hasn't been playing for Manchester City. He hasn't been in form, really, since he's come back from the World Cup. But things really have deteriorated for João Cancelo, and I wanted to talk about, firstly, why Cancelo is leaving, where he's going, and so on, some of the details in the deal. Then I'd like to go into what City have left, and other reasons why João Cancelo is leaving, and then what City should do, what City are going to do, what might happen with only one more day left of the transfer window. So City in real trouble here, aren't they, in terms of that? So to start with it, João Cancelo is moving to Bayern Munich in a loan deal. That is where João Cancelo is going, on loan to Bayern Munich till the end of the season, with an option of a 5-year deal with Bayern Munich. And Bayern Munich have the option to buy João Cancelo at the end of this season for €70 million, around £61.5 million, which is probably, financially wise, a very good deal. €70 million for João Cancelo. I know he's probably, in his position, the best fullback in the world on his day, certainly. We haven't seen his day since he's come back from the World Cup, and he wasn't great at the World Cup either. And I know a lot of you people can see from the comments below, you know, surely sell him in the summer. Why now? Why now? That is the big question. Why is City selling Cancelo now when we lack a left-back anyway? We don't have a pretty much a left-back in the squad anyway. Why is Cancelo leaving right now? And the first one is João Cancelo and Pep Guardiola have completely fallen out. The relationship between Cancelo and Pep Guardiola is completely broken. They've reported now that Cancelo and Pep Guardiola have had a bit of a falling out since he returned from the World Cup. Cancelo obviously hasn't been playing well. He played in that Southampton game, was dragged at half-time. And Cancelo continually, since he returned from the World Cup, has said to Pep Guardiola and asked Pep Guardiola, why am I not playing more football? Why am I not playing more games? That is what he's wanted to know. So from there, he said to him, well, basically, I'm not sure if this is still going, guys. Let me know if the live is still working. I'm not sure if it's buffering, but from there, Pep Guardiola has said he would give Cancelo chances, but they're not coming yet. Cancelo still hasn't played. Then in the game against Arsenal in the FA Cup, João Cancelo expected to play. He expected to play against Arsenal. In the training where they sit it up, working, everything's fine, thank you. I wasn't so sure on the YouTube here. It was showing it's still buffering. So Cancelo and Pep Guardiola spoke before the training against Arsenal, where Pep Guardiola obviously sets up the team that he thinks he's going to play. And he set the team up, and João Cancelo found out he wouldn't be in the starting 11 against Arsenal. That caused a big uproar from João Cancelo, who became perhaps aggressive, perhaps very disruptive. The word disruptive has been used in the reports. Apparently he's been disruptive in the squad for many, many weeks. So this happens with João Cancelo. He then confronts Pep Guardiola in a way which other players weren't happy with and have had to step in and say to João Cancelo, this is enough. And Cancelo has threatened to Pep Guardiola, threatened to the club, and threatened to other people, I'm going to leave Manchester City. I'll leave if you don't play me. And City and Pep Guardiola have said, well, get gone then. And that is the way City do things, isn't it? So Cancelo said, well, I've got an offer from Bayern Munich. And City said, well, put a buy option in there of €70 million, which we value at, and you're gone. And that happened, and João Cancelo's gone. João Cancelo will be announced to be going to Bayern Munich today. He wants to go, so I know you want to keep him, but he wants to go. So the reasons why Cancelo is going, well, the first one is, of course, that reason. He's become disruptive, he's in bad form, and he's also been causing big problems with Pep Guardiola. So they are the first three reasons why. The relationship with Pep Guardiola, the relationship with the club, attitude issues seem to have been mentioned quite a number of times. And I think that word disruptive is a big one that's been used in the reports. Disruptive from João Cancelo. He's been very disruptive. I see a lot of you guys there. Teddy's saying that City are linked with Teo Hernandez. That would be a nice deal, wouldn't it? Elmo says if he wants to go, he can go. Exactly. Jack Wilson's here. Quite a lot of people here. It's great to have you all. He's terrible when he was playing, so bad that he had the nerve to do that, says Jack. Exactly. Guardiola's not playing Cancelo because Cancelo's not playing well. And there's two other reasons why Cancelo isn't playing, other than his form and his attitude. Two other reasons as well. And they are, obviously, Pep Guardiola and João Cancelo are completely done with each other. I don't think that is ever going to happen together. Fletcher's a decision to make. It's from Fergie's handbook. Exactly. Ferguson always said, didn't he, at Manchester United, if you think you're bigger than the club, you're not. You're gone. And that's what's happened with Cancelo. I think the irony is Joao Cancelo has come to Manchester City and come to Pep Guardiola and said, "Ooh, you want to get rid of me? You want to get rid? Well, not even that. Joao Cancelo said, I'll go if you don't play me. If you don't play me, I'll go." And City and Pep's gone, off you go. Get lost. Big shame to lose a player of his quality. That's the big issue. And there's other issues as well. But another one for Pep Guardiola and why Cancelo is gone is the emergence of course, Rico Lewis. Pep Guardiola really trusts Rico Lewis now. He wants Rico Lewis to be the backup to Kyle Walker, the future of the right-back position for Manchester City, despite being only 18 years of age. So that's a big one. Deceptive is his attitude stinks. He doesn't want to fight for his position. No, and if you look at Cancelo's career, he's bounced around teams a lot, hasn't he? And the same will happen at Bayern Munich in 3-4 years' time. If he stops getting played because he's playing bad, he'll just say, oh, I want to go somewhere else. You can't play someone that's playing bad, can you? You can't say to Joao Cancelo, listen, you play as bad as you want, we'll play every week. It doesn't work like that when you've got players like Rico Lewis who are working the socks off, putting in the performances they've put in at 18 years of age. They deserve to be rewarded. And Rico Lewis isn't the only reason Manchester City are willing to get rid of Joao Cancelo. The other reason as well is the emergence of this man at left-back, Nathan Ake. Now, I don't think long-term City want Ake at left-back. City surely can't play Ake at left-back long-term because going forward, he offers absolutely nothing. Despite that goal he scored the other day. We have to say he did score the other day. But going forward, he doesn't really offer anything. But Nathan Ake, Pep Guardiola said that everyone in the squad is happy for Nathan Ake, bar one man. And we know he was talking about Joao Cancelo, who was unhappy with Nathan Ake taking his place. So Ake, Rico Lewis, and City have said, now there's two conflicting reports here, so I'll go with the initial one, and then we'll go into the later one. Ake's been fantastic. Lewis has been fantastic. Manchester City, initially, when this news broke earlier on today, because Cancelo's in Germany right now, he's done his medical, he's signed his Bayern Munich contract, it could have been announced already. City have said they're happy with the left-back options they've got already. They're happy with the squad, and they don't feel they need to add to the team. So City saying right there, they've got big confidence in Ake and Lewis. Now, we'll talk a little bit in a second whether that is City being honest and saying, we're happy with what we've got. City sort of covering the back a little bit and saying, well, you know, we're happy with what we got because we think we are. Or the third one is City saying that because it'll mean a better deal signing someone in the market. Like Joe says there, Rico's doing well, he's in good form. Deceptive says, same thing happened with Juve and Allegri. Exactly. As soon as Cancelo wants out, he wants out. Adrian says, I'm not bored because Cancelo left. It's because Sergio Gomez is the only left back in the team. We'll get into that. And Jack Wilson says, Cancelo is not in form. I was willing to give him time to get back to form, but his attitude is horrible. Good riddance. Exactly, Jack. That's my exact opinion as well, to be honest. My opinion is, I wanted him to stay. I wanted to get him back to the team. Next season's a new season. We need him in the big games. We're going for the Champions League, the FA Cup, and still in the Premier League this season. But he's not up for the challenge. He isn't up for a challenge with a centre-back playing out of position and an 18-year-old. That tells you all you need to know about Joao Cancelo and his actual backing of himself. So Pep Guardiola says, Cancelo out. City are in trouble though, aren't we? Because yes, we've got Ake and Rico. Lewis can play on the right, Ake can play on the left. But the only real natural left-back, and not even a real natural left-back in the squad, left at Manchester City, is this man, Sergio Gomez. And there's big issues with that, isn't there? Sergio Gomez being the only Manchester City real left-back, because Pep Guardiola put him out against Southampton, and Pep Guardiola realised pretty quickly against Southampton that Sergio Gomez isn't Manchester City level. He was brought in the summer to play for Girona. That's what City brought him in for. They brought him in to loan him out to Girona. That hasn't worked out, has it? And now we're stuck with him as our first choice left back, really, behind Nathan Ake, a only decent left back. Fletcher's, it's actually good timing. Pep laying down a marker. He is laying down a marker, isn't he? He really is. Adrian wants Wilson Esbrand to get a chance. Well, Esbrand will be at Coventry City till the end of the season. Joel is here. I've just seen the Cancelo news. Surely we need someone before the 1st of Feb. We do. 1 day left in the transfer window. And we'll talk about that because Manchester City have had a few different left backs, haven't we? And I think the worrying thing is the planning of the squad. The squad just seems to be getting weaker. We seem to be getting less better options. I mean, in the summer, we sold this man, Alexander Zinchenko, to Arsenal. Now, yes, he didn't play much last season, but he was our first choice left back with Cancelo. We've now sold both players that are our left backs, and we've got Gomez left. That is a massive worry for Manchester City and our season ahead. Now, obviously, in the summer, you expect it to get sorted. You hope it's going to get sorted. However, City haven't had a real left back at the club that has been a mainstay in the team since Alexander Kolarov in 2014 was the last time he played at left back. In 2015-16 under Pep Guardiola, he plays a centre back. So it's an issue. It's a massive issue. Funny when you think about it, we sold our backup left back, bought someone who was intending to loan for experience, then loaned our youthful left back out. And I know it's absolutely crazy deceptive, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy. We need a left back, says Groganot. Exactly right. City are desperate for a left back. Big games like the Champions League, like Brian said there, we can't play Sergio Gomez in the Champions League, can we? His last Champions League game, he got sent off against, was it Club Brugge, whoever we played? No, Copenhagen. We cannot be playing Sergio Gomez in the Champions League semi-final, for example. It's just not going to work, is it? So we've sold our backup left-back in Zinchenko, who's gone on to be one of the best full-backs in the world at Arsenal this season. We've sold now our starting left-back in Joao Cancelo. We're left with Sergio Gomez. We're left with Nathan Ake. And we're also left with Rico Lewis, but he's a right back. So Ake and Gomez are options. Now, Manchester City, like I said, have said they don't want to sign anyone. They're happy with the squad they've got. We've got a We Are City member here in Flavius. You should be wearing an Arsenal shirt this live stream because it's there for sure. It is right, isn't it? And Pedro Porro looking really nice right now, says Deceptive. Now, I think Manchester City, 20 million buyback on Pedro Porro. You could see that happening, but the thing is, he's a right back and City wants a left back. And reports have come out that not for the here and now, but City are, and have been scouting for a very long time now, to sign an actual permanent, long-term and actual left-back. Not a midfielder playing there, not a project player, a player who is solid enough and one for the future. And the player being mentioned is Ben Chilwell of Chelsea. Now, City could have signed Chilwell back in 2017, I believe it was, for 42 million, his release clause. City had everything in place to make that deal happen. And any reliable journalist out there will tell you that they have spoken about that. City had everything in place. And for some reason, that didn't happen. They didn't sign Ben Chilwell. Nobody really knows why City pulled out that deal. Chilwell made the move to Chelsea where he's been fantastic, but he's been injured a lot. And City did look at Chilwell again this summer, but Chilwell was out with a long-term injury. And Chilwell's currently injured right now, which puts me off Chilwell massively with the injury issues, doesn't it, really? Joe would love Theo Hernandez. I think a lot of people would love Theo Hernandez. Now, Chilwell is the option. And City in the summer sold Zinchenko and got rid of Cancelo perhaps now because they were initially thinking that this man, Marc Cucurella, would be the man to be Manchester City's starting left-back. And maybe if they'd signed Cucurella, that would have caused big problems with Cancelo anyway, because Cancelo wouldn't be starting week in, week out. And clearly, Cancelo wants to play 50 games a season. And statistically-wise, Cancelo is City's most used defender so far this season, which he's just not played the last few games. And he's been in poor form, and that's why he's not played it. But Marc Cucurella was City's number one option. He's not worked out at Chelsea. And of course, City wanted to pay between 25 and 35 million for Marc Cucurella this summer. So that is the sort of bracket of transfer fee you need to be thinking about. And that's why I think we can rule out a player, like you've said, Joel, in Theo Hernandez. City will not spend 70 million on a fullback. I can tell you now, they will not be spending 70 million on Theo Hernandez. Now, it might be a little bit different. Maybe the circumstances will change come the summer. Should Bayern Munich say, yes, we're going to pay the full 70 million euros for Joao Cancelo after the end of his loan, then City might say we'll reinvest that in a fullback like Theo Hernandez, but we're not quite sure. Another member here in Alfie Lively. Hello to you, Alfie. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But City did want Marc Cucurella. In the end, he went to Chelsea for 63 million. That is double, nearly double what City were ever willing to pay for the fullback. It was never going to happen, that deal, because of that. Odd that Chelsea paid that sort of money for him. I was very surprised when it happened. But City sort of put all their eggs in one basket, which was the Marc Cucurella basket. Sold Zinchenko thinking Cucurella will come in for 35 million. And it really didn't work, did it? Groganot says here, the thing is, if a player's unhappy, let him leave. And that's what City have said for a while, haven't they? This Cancelo thing, yes, he's been causing problems. It's a bit different with Bernardo Silva, who hasn't caused problems at Manchester City. He's got his head down, carried on to do his best as he can, but he wants to leave Manchester City. City have told every City player, if you want to leave, bring us an offer that we'll accept, and off you go. No qualms. And I think they're not asking for ridiculous money, are they? 70 million euros for Joao Cancelo, £60 million is probably fair. Joel has mentioned the man who should not be named. Well, he's out of contract, Joel. He will never play for Manchester City again. I'll be very surprised if he ever plays football again, but his contract's out at the end of the season, that man. So, Chilwell is one. Now, City did say they're happy with Nathan Ake and him playing out of position. The new formation we're playing, which is a 3-2, where a fullback goes into the middle, usually the right back in Rico Lewis, means that Joao Cancelo's game time would become even more limited under Pep Guardiola for the rest of the season, and Pep Guardiola is liking Nathan Ake in that position. City have now said, apparently so, this is a different reporter that's saying this, that City internally have accepted that letting Cancelo go is not what they planned for. And because they're doing something they haven't planned for at the start of the season, they are willing to make a move in the transfer market. But who do they move for? Now, no names have come out quite yet. I know they've been linked with Teo Hernandez. I can't see that one happening. No names have been quite revealed yet. But there's two names, in my mind, that I think Manchester City would be very interested in making happen this January market, because they would be easy deals. And the first one is Rafael Guerreiro, another Portuguese player, the left-back from Borussia Dortmund. City inquired about this summer when they sold Zinchenko and couldn't get Marc Cucurella. City were very interested, scouted heavily. Rafael Guerreiro, reunite Nuri, whose price was 50-odd million for Wolves, the Wolves fullback, so City said no straight away. The other one was Rafael Guerreiro. Now, Rafael Guerreiro is out of contract at the end of the season, meaning Borussia Dortmund, when they asked, I think they asked for maybe 20, 30 million for Rafael Guerreiro this summer, which City obviously said, no, we are not selling, we're not buying Guerreiro for 30 million. City picked up Manuel Akanji, maybe a 40, 50 million pound centre-back. They valued him at for 17 million euros this summer, around 15 million pound, because his contract was coming to an end. Rafael Guerreiro has 6 months thereabout left in his contract, just like Manuel Akanji. And I think this is, personally, the most likely deal to happen this January. If City are to bring in a left-back, I don't think they will. I think City will find that they will not be able to get the player they want and won't make a move. But I think Rafael Guerreiro is certainly top of that list as a player that maybe will come in for 15 million. Does Dortmund a favour because they get 15 million for a player that they will lose in free in the summer? It could be even less. And also, Guerreiro is, again, a sort of player that is very comfortable in the midfield. So he could play that 3-2 formation where if we play Kyle Walker at right back, Guerreiro at left back, Walker will shift into a back three with Laporte, Akanji, whoever, and Guerreiro will go and sit alongside Rodri in the middle. So Rafael Guerreiro, to my mind, could be the best option. He's the most realistic option that I can think of. Jack Wilson, the next season, we need a big refresh of the squad. It's coming, Jack. I think it's coming. And this Cancelo transfer shows it. Bernardo Silva and Gundogan could be going. Cancelo going. Laporte might be going as well, despite, I thought, a storming performance against Arsenal. A lot is going to be happening, isn't it? Ridai agrees as well. I reckon Pep will buy a winger. Mark my words, says Groganot. Yeah, I think Rafael Leao and Kvaratskhelia, if I'm saying that right. I know someone said I butchered the name before, of Napoli are high on the list. But City don't do deals with Napoli. So Rafael Leao, he's also out of contract in a year's time. Keep an eye on that one, because I did read just before this that apparently contract talks with Rafael Leao and AC Milan have broken down. That's a very realistic one. A long-term player that Pep Guardiola admired. He was in his time at Sporting Lisbon. Pep Guardiola had a real eye on him. City go for 3 centre-back players for Red Eye. That's what they'll do, and Guerreiro could be the man. I wouldn't be surprised if you just buy a £5 million left-back from God knows where, says Flavius, our member. Quite right, Flavius. Rafael Guerreiro could be that man. Alfie Live says, do you think Sosa, because you signed in my career mode? City could have signed Sosa this summer for 15 million euros, 20 million euros, and they decided against it. And I think there's a reason they decided against it. Him and Guerreiro, reuniting Euro, they had plenty of players on that list. There was a reason they went against it. The other one I'm thinking of, and I thought, Rafael Guerreiro, maybe. The other option that I think City surely are going to look into is another man out of contract at the end of the season. Another man that perhaps Benfica would sell for cheap, and that is Alejandro Grimaldo. Now, he's played all his career pretty much, hasn't he, in Portugal, which does worry me a little bit because he's never made that step up. He's 26 years of age now. Could he make that step up? I think Rafael Guerreiro has played in a more competitive league. And the thing is, Rafael Guerreiro as well, if you're looking for a short-term option, someone cheap, Guerreiro already has a relationship with a few players at Manchester City, namely Erling Haaland and Manuel Akanji. And also, he played at international level with Ruben Diaz, with Bernardo Silva. So that is what I think City could be looking at. And I think Grimaldo, Guerreiro, keep your eye on those two. Guerreiro more so, but Grimaldo, Grimaldo, they are the two players, Guerreiro, we're looking at. The weather of some of these things that we can lose play. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Fletcher's mentioning Mendy at Madrid. Now, he's been linked with Manchester City, hasn't he, Mendy? Initially, and personally, Mendy's not a good option. He can just run very fast the ball. I don't rate him at all. I don't rate him at all. But Ferland Mendy certainly might be an option for Manchester City. I think the only issue with bringing Ferland Mendy is that Real Madrid have already said, Carlo Ancelotti has said multiple times, they will not be making movements in the transfer market. The market is already sold for them. So they certainly won't be selling a fullback when they're light in the fullback situations already. So I think you can rule Ferland Mendy out for now. But don't be surprised if City perhaps make a move from the summer. Alfie Lively asks, how long does Walker have left on his contract? I think contracts for Kyle Walker is about 1 year and 6 months. He has about 2 years left in his contract nearabouts. Grognot says, Grimaldo played well versus Liverpool as well as Guerreiro. Looks like real because we normally steal Dortmund players. Exactly. I think, personally, if anyone's moving to Manchester City this January on a very cheap deal as a fullback, Rafael Guerreiro is the man. And if not him, Alejandro Grimaldo. They're the two names to keep up on. I'm going to try and do more sort of transfer news for you guys. Do you enjoy doing these videos? I've seen a lot of you guys are here in the live stream to join us. So obviously you guys like this idea. Should I do more transfer news more often? Should I try and update us more often and do these sort of videos and talk about things? I was planning to do it in the summer because I thought, well, this transfer window's pretty dead for Manchester City if I do it for the summer. And then this bomb dropped and I thought, I've got to do one. I've really got to do one. Alfie Lively suggests Hakimi Mensch. Yeah, Hakimi won't be leaving PSG, and neither will Nuno Mensch. No players will ever move from PSG to Manchester City for PSG. Guggenheim loves the transfer news. Well, I always put it on the sort of community tab, but I'm going to start doing live videos like this so you guys can be more involved with the transfers and we can discuss transfers. And at the moment, I like to see that 50-50 with you guys. Man City, should they have let Cancelo go? Are they right to let Cancelo go? It's 50-50. Some of you guys think that probably his ability outweighs his attitude at the moment, and he'll slowly come back around. And the other 50% of you guys think, no, we should get rid of him. We'll look in the summer for a new player. We've got a new video dropping on the channel today, of course. It is the Manchester City FIFA 23 Career Mode Season 4, Episode 1, where actually there's a big bomb in terms of transfer news dropped in that episode as well. There might be a big player leaving the club. So that's a big one for you guys to check out. We're going to be keeping Cancelo around in our FIFA career mode for as long as we possibly can, because in career mode he's 92 rated or whatever. He's absolutely fantastic. So thank you very much for joining us on this transfer news. Of course, if you're watching this not live, but you're watching it afterwards, you can still, of course, comment on the video and let us know. Please do like the video if you haven't already. Please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. Alfie Lively, of course, a member, has already seen the video. If you want to join the members club, you can see all the videos early that are out on the career mode, and you can see them extended as well. Fletch wants more of this as well. Well, certainly we'll be doing more of these videos then. Hopefully, we'll be doing another one of these videos tomorrow, because Manchester City will be making a move for a left-back. Alejandro Grimaldo, Rafael Guerreiro. Will they go big and go Theo Hernandez? I don't think so. Personally think no one will be signing, but I'd like to do one of these videos tomorrow if City make a transfer move. Thanks for joining, everyone, guys. It's been great to have you here on this live. More transfer news, more updates coming over the next day. Hopefully, we'll see you all next time.